The Saints preseason is coming to a close, but there is one last chance to make a splash. Cutdown day is coming, and those fighting to make the team can leave no doubt. Tonight, a future All-Star might break out. It's Saints preseason football, and it starts right now.
Tonight we are in the Crescent City as we get ready to wrap up the preseason. It is game number 4 for the Saints. They get ready for the real deal. But the first order of business, a matchup tonight with the Los Angeles Rams at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. Hi everybody, Joel Myers along with Super Bowl champion John Stinchcomb as well as Sean Kelly. Downstairs, Megan Payton will join us as well in just a couple of minutes. And welcome to the Superdome. Things were way too quiet around here, weren't they? Big shakeup. Teddy Bridgewater, he's in the building. He's joined the Saints already. And not only Teddy Bridgewater, but the good signs we saw last week from a first-round pick, Marcus Davenport.
Well, in addition to Teddy Bridgewater, the Saints were willing to part ways with 2019 draft picks for Marcus Davenport. We got to see him last week, and you had to be excited about what you saw. His stat line was pretty productive. 3 tackles and half a sack with only 15 snaps. And you can see the high ceiling that he has as a player. Now, there's still room for development, and this is another step that he can take tonight in producing as a first-round draft pick.
Well, the cutdown day is Saturday. Got to get down to 53. Some good competition, especially a running back.
Yeah, we get great reality television tonight, don't we? Guys fighting for their football lives tonight. Still some questions to be answered, including at running back as to who will play in Mark Ingram's stead during the first 4 weeks of the regular season. Here are your contenders. Jonathan Williams might be out front. He's the power runner of this group. Shane Vereen hanging around the competition because he can catch the ball out of the backfield. And Boston Scott serves as a possible returner as well. These are just some of the questions that have to be answered tonight. And keep this in mind as we're watching reality television tonight. Since 2006, 28 undrafted players signed as free agents by the Saints have made the opening day roster for the New Orleans Saints.
It'll be fun to watch tonight from 90 to 53 and who does stand out. That's going to be the story. Great competition at position battle. Stay with us as we get ready for Saints preseason football. Coach Sean Payton with the newest Saint, the acquisition, Teddy Bridgewater, a gifted young athlete at the quarterback position. With more on that, let's join Megan Payton with Coach Sean Payton.
Thanks, Joel. Arguably the biggest news in preseason, Teddy Bridgewater. Take us through that trade.
Well, look, I think the dialogue began a few days ago. You're never quite certain of a team who has a player, they're interested in trading him. I know Mickey had spent with enough time on it. He and I discussed it a lot yesterday morning, and this was one that happened fairly quickly, and for the first time that I can ever recall, it happened while the Jets were getting ready to travel. They hadn't left yet, and we were in a banquet. So, look, there's never that perfect timing, but we really have a good vision for the player. We feel like we know the player well. I think the big thing for him was, and for everyone in the league was, how did his knee recover from the injury he had? He had a great preseason, and we're excited he's here.
How long have you guys been thinking about something like this?
I would say not as long as you would think. You don't know how the preseason's going to unfold. We feel like we've got some real good young quarterbacks in the building here that we're working with, and this was more about a unique player becoming available that we think we have a good vision for. I think the opportunity for him to come in here and work under Drew and learn our system. And then there's some other ties. I'm real close with Mike Zimmer. Bill Parcells is very close to Teddy, and so all of those things made it a little bit easier for us relative to his makeup. And then I think watching him play and move around, and then today, he was in with the physical. All of that went well.
I'm excited for you guys.
Thank you, Megan. And it's a real interesting acquisition. He's only 25 years old. Let's not forget that. And just a couple of years ago before the injury, he was a Pro Bowler.
Amazing upside. It's such a big pickup. It comes at a cost, third-round pick, but when you have an opportunity to add a Teddy Bridgewater who looked to be healthy this preseason, seems like a large acquisition for the Saints.
Yeah, for down-the-road purposes, exceptional idea. Saints kickoff all brought to you by Visit the Mississippi Gulf Coast. Book your end-of-summer adventure. Get 25% off your stay at visitgulfcoast.org. Sam Ficken, it is not going to be Greg Zuerlein kicking it away. Sam Ficken out of Penn State in the second season. Boston Scott back deep, the single for the Saints, and we are underway at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. Great to have you with us as Boston Scott will get it out just shy of the 20. A return of about 23 yards to the 19-yard line. And our quarterback to start the game tonight, it is going to be Taysom Hill. There was a lot to like about what he did in the last one.
Took a big step, really bounced back from what we saw here at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome in the second preseason game. I think it's important tonight for Hill and then JT Barrett to follow, to just do the job of being able to let the others who are fighting for roster spots to showcase their wares.
Well, they bunch it on the right side to start things off on the short side of the field with Boston Scott the single in the backfield. Smith, the motion man on the play fake, and he's available out in the flat. Traycon Smith, and yards after contact. You like that? And he's close to a first down. Now, Stinge, our keys to the game, all brought to you by your local Toyota dealer. Toyota, let's go places. Let's get to the keys, too.
Well, it's your last audition. You're not going to see Drew and Cam, but for these guys, they're playing for their lives. Can you make that 53-man roster? You got to compete. You got to, not only are you competing with the 90 on the roster currently, but across the league, there's 31 teams out there where you can pull players from, and you got to leave no doubt.
Nice cutback. First down across the 30 out of the 32-yard line. Boston Scott, the draft choice of the Saints. And an interesting proposition to say the least, because he can be versatile enough to do a number of things for you.
Yeah, you've got to have a guy here who can help you in different phases of the football game. We just saw him return a kick. I think that he and Brandon Tate are in that conversation for that job. And Scott has shown the ability to be a good ball carrier in these last 2 weeks as well.
The native of Zachary, Louisiana, out of Louisiana Tech, the 6th-round pick, gets the call again. And nice cut for about 5. Make it 4. It'll be 2nd and 6 from the 36-yard line. So the jobs are on the line. Who is going to be the backup for Kamara until Mark Ingram returns?
Well, jobs and roles for Boston Scott. Are you just a special teams guy? For the first 4 weeks with no Mark Ingram, are you somebody that can help share the load? You don't want Alvin Kamara to be overburdened in just the first 4 weeks. It's a long season.
Dan Arnold off of the tackle over to the right side. Who's going to be the backups tight ends as well. Batted away looking for Boston Scott, and a good play out of the secondary by Traven Howard, the backer. So the outside backer for the LA Rams, a rookie of TCU.
Well, Boston Scott gets the kickoff return. He's got a carry. Now let's see him running routes. They're trying to figure out, what all can he do? Is he multifaceted? Can he be the receiver out of the backfield? He's undersized, but is he the playmaker?
He's out. Vereen is in, who's fighting for the backup running back spot next to Taysom Hill. On 3rd and 6, pocket holds up, but the ball well behind the intended target as he was trying to get it to Austin Carr.
There's been a great story really over the last 2 weeks. He's emerging, Carr is, as possibly your 5th wide receiver, and they work him in the slot as John shows you here. Lance Moore type role, Willie Snead type role. I don't want to typecast him too much, but that's what they're thinking with him, and he's caught just about everything. That's an uncatchable ball there.
Morstead, man, is it going to be a false start? Yes. So 2 teams matching up that were both 11-5 last year, both in postseason play.
The 37, 5-yard penalty, remains 4th down.
19 years for Tony Corretti, and when you ask him where he's going to be opening Sunday, he's in the Northeast.
He wouldn't give up the goods.
World Cup secret. World Cup secret.
He's in the Northeast. So welcome to the quarter. JoJo Natson out of Akron waits back deep, and he's been very good for the Rams over the first 3 preseason games. Good hang time, but a little pocket there for Natson, and he's got a window over to the right side. Good return across the 40 to the 45 and out of bounds, shy of the 50-yard line, but really good field position for the Rams. So the defensive unit of the Saints out there for the first time when we come back to the Dome. Rams get it offensively for the first time. Two postseason teams matching up identical records. Saints went a little bit farther in the postseason. Rams lost in the first round to the Falcons 26-13. And they have not played Jared Goff, who gets ready for his third season. It's a gamble, and we'll get into that in a little bit, but they're going to start Brandon Allen tonight. He's in his second season out of Arkansas, a former 6th-round pick of the Jacksonville Jaguars. So it's 6'2", 210. Allen getting the call. And on first down, the run over to the left side. Nothing there for Nick Holley. And this is a gamble. Let's face it. They had success last year. Maybe one of the biggest surprises in the NFL. But these guys, none of them have played in the preseason.
Yeah, well, preseason, you talk about getting a rhythm, trying to limit your exposure, which obviously that's the mindset of the Rams. But 0 snaps for your offensive weapons. They must be really banking on those practice reps and shared scrimmages. Who knows?
And that's with a third-year quarterback. Now, Goff had a very good year, throwing for 3,800 yards, and his touchdown to interception ratio was amazing. A lot of time. Man, it goes to the tight end. Should be enough for the first down. That's Johnny Munt in his second season out of Oregon. Now, the guys to watch for the Saints defensively.
Well, you look in the middle. Let's start there. Lawrence and Stallworth are in the lineup currently, and then other draft picks. Marcus Davenport, your first rounder, we saw last week, and Jamerson, who's starting to really make a name for himself, and somebody to watch tonight.
And they put it just shy, so it's going to be 3rd and inches. It'll be Holley in the backfield once again. Bouncing out, he'll get it easily. Broke containment, and he bumped out of bounds. And Mario Davis giving chase. He was knocked out by Banjo. So they sealed that side completely.
Well, here's the player to watch. It's A.J. Klein. He's at the end of the line here. He's got containment. He's matched up on this tight end. He's trying to get a call right there. You can see him throw his right arm out. But when that tight end gets both hands in the middle of the defender's chest and drives him to the ground, you're really begging for one. You're either going to get the edge or get the call, and they got the edge.
Hemingway resets the tight end over to the left side like an H-back. Go to the wide side. And again, nice cutback by the young man Holley. So Nick Holley, a rookie out of Kent State at 5'10", 195. And this was down to the scene last week as well in Carson, California, where the Chargers moved the ball.
Yeah, Dennis Allen was not happy, especially up front against the run. And we're talking about Devereaux Lawrence and Taylor Stallworth. I think in their evaluation tonight, this audition, how they play against the run is as important as anything else.
So 3 early carries for the young man from Kent State for 26 yards at a 2nd and 1, all the way down to the 19. Started at the Rams 47. Holley goes low, and he's got the first down. It's the highest scoring team, don't forget, in the NFL last year. And it's an interesting story because it was a rookie head coach and the youngest head coach in NFL history. Sean McVay, 31 years of age, NFL Coach of the Year in his first season. Very similar to Sean Payton in his first season in 2006, NFL Coach of the Year.
And they come off the Hard Knocks series where Coach Fisher is saying, this isn't an 8-8 team, and he was right. Too bad it was the other direction, and gives an opportunity to Sean McVay, and it seemed like he came in with the cupboards were not bare.
He's got a good quarterback for down the road. Holley belts it. And he goes down. Mario Davis on his back right away. So 7-year free agent signing out of Arkansas State finally stuffs the run. It'll be 2nd and long.
Well, for those at home that think that none of your starters are playing, look right in the middle of your screen. That's Mario Davis who blows up the play. And look across the board. Alex Anzalone, you've got Lavin and Lawrence, guys that you are probably going to see this season. So this isn't exactly the D squad These are guys that you're going to be counting on next week.
They run Brown, the wide receiver, into the slot over to the wide side of the field. Allen with time on a stop route, and what a grab. It's picked up by Hodge. So Hodge, the wide receiver, in kind of a jump ball situation, gets it at the 10.
Well, Justin Hardy, man coverage on the outside. He does everything right. He makes turns on the ball. Allen puts it high and gives his receiver a chance, but Hardy's trying, fighting right there. Sometimes the quarterback and wide receiver just are clicking in a way that makes it really hard for the DB.
So it's going to be 3rd and about 3. Need to take it inside the 7 for a 1st and goal. Allen out of the gun. Grant on a double clutcher. Intercepted by Anzalone. Will it be a pick or not? They say yes. Alex Anzalone.
Athleticism in spades. They love Anzalone. He's a playmaker. They like him in coverage. You got pressure from Demario Davis coming from the other side. Anzalone reads the play, jumps up, gets 2 feet down. Interception for the Saints.
Saints 3rd round pick, Alex Anzalone, and that was the 3rd round last year. Looked so good over the first 4 that, boy, was it deflating for all of us when he went down and went on injured reserve.
Well, you can see what they liked about him, just his athleticism to jump up, reach, and grab that ball. You know, most defenders, they don't have the ball skills, but Anzalone showed it on that play.
It's Vereen, or Megan Williams, rather, across the 10. Nice run on 1st down on his first carry. Jonathan Williams, in his 3rd year, trying to make the squad out of Arkansas. And an interesting story, because here's another guy. Stay healthy, and he's looked good.
Yeah, he's averaged 4 yards a carry. That was his 16th carry now in preseason games. As far as running between the tackles, he's probably the leader of that group of contenders to fill in for Mark Ingram.
It'll be 2nd and 4 from the 15. Run pass option. And fights, gets the 1st down up to the 20-yard line. So a gain of a little more than 5.
Well, look who's lined up at left guard. Andrews Pete, who's coming off an injury last year. They're trying to get him back into game shape, and also for him to see the full speed reps. The exact opposite approach than what the Rams have taken. So you've got some day 1 starters that are still in this game trying to prepare for the regular season next week.
Yeah, difference in philosophies. It's going to be interesting to see how it pays off for the Rams, and whether it does pay off or works against them rhythm-wise. On that carry, Williams shut down after a gain of about 2 or 3.
Interesting. Not only are they resting, we have resting Rams tonight, we have non-traveling Rams tonight. They left between 20 and 25 of their players back in Los Angeles. They're not even here in New Orleans with the team.
Led the league in scoring, 30 points a game. In fact, Sean McVay is the first coach in NFL history to, in his first season, take a team from worst to first. They were the lowest scoring team 2 years ago. On 2nd and long, the cutback by Williams. Good yardage. He had a little bit of an angle over to the left side, you and I saw, because there was a lane over to the left side, but man, he runs hard.
And it's right behind Andrews Pete, but this is what you want to see from Williams. There was so many question marks with Mark Ingram being down for the first 4 weeks. Who is that guy? Was it Terrence West? Well, he got released, and Jonathan Williams, a name that nobody was really talking about early on in camp, has emerged as the clear-cut replacement and the first guy in behind Kamara.
Now run pass option. Good option. Scott, who got smacked across the face mask, going through the line, takes it for a 1st down and a gain of 7 to the 36.
A great burst. It looked like he did get a face mask and just played through it. But you like the acceleration from him. Right behind Laribas. Good combo block in the middle. Definitely got a piece of
Yeah, Marius Bryant, the underneath tackle, definitely got him across the grill. Taysom Hill with the single in the backfield of Boston Scott once again. So from their own 9, a couple of 1st downs and some breathing room for the Saints. And on single coverage, wide open. Down the field, Cameron Meredith. Good to see him involved.
Welcome sight
first game catch as a New Orleans Saint. Boy, he was really wanting it heading into this final preseason game, and he goes big here.
Oh, he's finally saying he's healthy. Great double move right there. Gets behind the cornerback, and a well-placed ball by Taysom Hill. Seems like it was a tale of two quarterbacks for the week 2, week 3 in the preseason with number 7. And from tonight, it seems like the anomaly was week 2 with all the turnovers. Great ball by Hill.
Gain of 56 on the ball by Hill. You're talking about Scott breaks the tackle, takes it inside the 5 down to the 4. By the way, the victim, unfortunately, was Torian Nixon, native of Baton Rouge, and a guy who played his college ball uptown, and we're pulling for the Green Wave tonight, Roll Wave, because it's a big game for the Tulane Green Wave tonight against Wake Forest. Now 2nd and goal. It would be if they completed a 91-yard drive and a pick-me-up for Taysom Hill. Scott stays in the backfield. Right side, bounce it out. He will. He's in. Touchdown, Saints. They had the bunch over to the right side, and they just washed out that side.
Well, I think Scott's got a little room for improvement with that celebration. Maybe that's just an appetizer of what's to come, but he bounces it outside. You have Bunch at the end of the line there on the right. It looks like it starts off inside. Safety plays inside. Scott sees it, is able to bounce it. And then you see a little shake. Okay.
That's not bad. Okay.
If you say so.
You got veteran moves in you.
Look what we're doing right here. Something we saw a lot last week.
And the Rams quickly, without the regulars that you had mentioned, calling a timeout. See, if they had the regulars in there, they would have to use that timeout to be prepared.
Well, they didn't watch the tape from last week either. I guess they know what they have in Will Lutz. Why run out there and run a PAT? You already have confidence in your holding situation, whether it be Thomas Morstead or Taysom Hill. Take these opportunities to go for 2.
Get more reps. That's what they want to see. They want to see what can they run? What are they successful with? Tell you what was really encouraging is that Cam Meredith pass down the sideline. Hadn't seen a lot from him, and for him to get behind the defender, make a long 56-yard catch, very encouraging.
A big target, a big receiver, and a really productive player for the Bears before he got hurt last year. They're going for 2. Shift the tight end. Hill fade into the corner. Meredith's there. He's got it. No, in and out of his hands. Not a bad throw. We'll come back. We'll take another look at it as well, but it's a Boston Scott touchdown and a 91-yard drive for the Saints.
Tonight's Saints game is brought to you in part by Raising Cane's, the official chicken of your New Orleans Saints, feeding your game day party for over 20 years. And by Visit Baton Rouge, an authentic Louisiana experience.
Solid drive, 2nd possession for the Saints. A big play, of course, the 56-yard pass. The Cameron Meredith. Boston Scott with the touchdown run, failed on the 2-point conversion. But impressive. And don't forget, it's points off a turnover. Anzalone created the takeaway. JoJo Natson about 5-6 yards into the end zone on the line drive from Lutz. Finds a lane over to the right side. Flag down as he goes across the 30 out to the 32-yard line. Let's see how far it'll go back on the hold against the Rams.
During the return of the kick, receiving team number 27, 10-yard penalty, first down.
Isaiah Johnson, the defensive back in his 3rd year out of Georgia Tech, cost the Rams some really good field position. Their first drive started at their own 47 after a nice return by Natson. This will take it back inside the 15. The Rams have it at their own 14. We just saw Tanner McAvoy out there on the return, one of the newest Saints as well, who was picked up this week. He'll be wearing number 15 tonight.
Fired by the Saints after the Seahawks let him go. Has some special teams skins on the wall. A couple of tackles for his fumble. Talk about jumping into the fire.
Big guy. It'll be Holly. Success on the first drive, but dropped right at the line of scrimmage that time. Nate Stupar out there. Bottom of the pile, Stallworth getting it up. Yes, he was imploding that play. And that's Devereaux Lawrence and Taylor Stallworth have not hurt their chances this preseason.
Nope, they're battling for a spot. Where he's working right alongside Marcus Davenport, who's playing that right end spot, exactly where they ran the ball. And Coach Dennis Allen said he wants to see him more physical in the run game as well.
2nd and 10 out of the gun for Allen. Out of the quick out, it's complete to the 20. As it's taken in by Fred Brown out of Mississippi State in his second season. So again, up about 5, and that's not a good sign, is it?
Well, you saw starting left guard Andrus Peat in that first series, and hate to speculate, but it's never a great sign when you see him escorted back into the locker room.
And he's nicked up during camp a little bit and getting back in with the second unit, not even the first unit.
That's why he was getting reps, is because he hasn't been able to go full speed this training camp.
Caught a third, about 3. Pressure comes late. It's Marcus Davenport chasing him. Bang. He's out of bounds. Robertson on top of the situation. Craig Robertson. So 3 and out, and they flush him out of the pocket. That's the key.
Yep. And Marcus Davenport just ran Craig Robertson ran a 4.240 off the field right there, but pressure provided. That's Davenport shrinking the pocket, trying to hustle, get in on the play, but Robertson's there in another 3 and out that this defense creates.
So the sack behind the line. It's a sack for Robertson. And Johnny Hecker barely got it away. Both their kickers went to the Pro Bowl last year, Zerline and Heckers. Tommy Lee takes it with a fair catch at the 40. Great field position, turned around thanks to Robertson, Davenport, and the defensive unit of the Saints. Well, the Final Play app, Who Dat Nation, you've got to have it. Download the Final Play app. It's absolutely free. Trusted source, all the Saints news. You get the latest from the field to the locker room. Everything is right there on your phone. And to download it, absolutely free. All you have to do is search Final Play. Go to the App Store as we speak. Welcome back to the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. Joel Myers, Super Bowl champion John Stinchcomb, Sean Kelly, Macon Payton down on the sideline. The Saints back at it. 1st and 10 at their own 40. Scott in the backfield. Taysom Hill and the reverse. Tommy Lee Lewis, the jet, across the midfield stripe. He's got a first down to the 49 of the Rams.
A little jet sweep to Tommy Lee Lewis. Starts off, goes in motion. And for Tommy Lee, this could be a big game for him. He needs to show that he can add some value to this team, right?
Yeah, I think we mentioned Austin Carr earlier. I really think that it's Carr versus Lewis for that 5th wide receiver spot.
Tommy Lee, a good story out of Northern Illinois in his 3rd year. Ton of time. Hill on the crossing pattern. Traquan Smith. 3rd round pick of the Saints has looked really good this preseason. He's got it down to make it the 29 for a gain of 20.
It started with great protection. Taysom Hill has all the time in the world and finds Traquan Smith one of his favorite targets this preseason.
4th preseason game. Tell me you're not having fun. This has been good these last 2 drives.
Well, the impressive part is the 2s and 3s. The last couple of weeks in back-to-back wins for the Saints have really been solid. Screen set up, batted down, and almost picked up by Trayvon Young, a rookie out of Louisville. And that was going the other way in a hurry.
Wow, that was a questionable decision. So it's a screen they're trying to set up to the left. Boston Scott kind of gets caught up in the mix. I think he was throwing it to Bushrod right there, who was open once he could clear that defensive line.
You know, you can't get away from those lugs. The hogs. It's all about the hogs. 2nd and 10 from the 29. Williams in the backfield. Cut back. Takes a couple with him for a gain. Give him the 25. A gain of about 4. And that is going to be a final snap. Productive first quarter. So the Saints get the stop of the red zone, a pick by Anzalone, and it's points off a turnover for a lead at the end of the first quarter.
Saints game brought to you in part by Cox, fastest internet speed and in-home Wi-Fi for the best football experience at home. And by Visit Mississippi Gulf Coast. Book your 25% discounted end of summer adventure at gulfcoast.org.
It's a night to stand out, to impress, and we've already seen that from a couple of guys in particular. Boston Scott, Jonathan Williams, Alex Anzalone, Craig Robertson. Now welcome back as we start the second quarter of the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. Last preseason game, want to get out of here healthy. That's the ultimate for both sides. Hill out of the gun on third down. Grab is made. Boy, short of the first down by about a yard. A gain of close to 6. Now what is Sean Payton going to do on fourth at about a yard?
Well, learning moment for Traquan Smith. Get to the stick on your route. He's about a step short. They brought heat. Taysom Hill did a good job of loading his football here. But Smith is just a touch off on that route. And brings up fourth and short.
And when you're going for 2 on every touchdown, I don't think you're settling for a field goal. So Jonathan Williams into the game in the eye. And it's the upback, Edmonds. He's not getting it. It'll be turned over on downs as they gave it to Trey Edmonds, the fullback out of Maryland. He's trying to also make an impression. Backing up Zach Line. You can't carry 2 fullbacks, though, can you, Stooge?
No, not the way the offense is run in New Orleans, and just gets stuffed, and there's no place for him to go. Larivas kind of gets stood up a little bit there, and Edmonds didn't have much of a shot to gain any yards.
So the Rams get it for the 3rd time on offense, this time at their own 20. And it stays with Allen at quarterback. Brandon Allen, the 6th-round pick out of from Jacksonville, that they picked up. Larry Rose in the backfield on a play fake and a waggle to the tight end. And big yardage outside as it's taken in by Johnny Monk, former Oregon Duck, and he's got a first down across the 35.
A simple little naked right there, and playing against Kikaha's strengths. Kikaha's good as a pass rusher, still trying to prove himself as a linebacker. Gets caught up inside a little bit, extra step or 2 long, and creates a lot of space for that boot.
First down from the 37. Larry Rose the 3rd, his first carry. And it goes for maybe a yard at the most. And we'll bring up 2nd and long. Mitch Lavin's had a very good camp. We've talked about big number 70 for the Saints. And Mitch trying to make the squad, making a 2nd year out of Arkansas. He hasn't hurt his chances.
No, and he's versatile. He can play both inside with his hand in the dirt as a tackle, and he's a good stand-up outside defensive end as well.
Huge guy, good speed at 6'5", 275. So the battle, Lavin, Kikaha, guys that know they have to stand out. 2nd and 10. Nothing there inside. Robertson, even though it's stacked up, made sure he wasn't going anywhere, bouncing off. P.J. Williams, the first one there.
Go ahead, John.
Well, P.J. Williams is a guy who's probably battling for a spot right here. He doesn't mind sticking his nose in, which is good to see. You need to see that from your slot defender, being able to close in that space, and then Robertson with the finish.
Well, I'm glad you brought him up because he has not played in the last 2 preseason games. He should get a lot of snaps tonight, and yes, I think he has to show a little something on tape tonight.
I'll tell you, if you're looking for somebody, there's your 1st-round draft pick.
So 3rd and long for Allen. Pocket again, collapses. He buys time. Now going to run for it? No. Now the Saints will get it back. Good job after the one play. And it netted about 16, 17 yards to Johnny Monk. Yeah, the Saints will get it right back.
Another 3 and out this defense created. Mitch Lavin had a lot to do with it. You're watching Davenport. What I've seen just this series alone is there's just that half click when the ball is snapped. He's reading instead of just firing off the ball, and that's just an area he can improve on.
Beckford gets into it. Johnny Lee waits for it. It's a wobbler and a short one. Man, Tommy Lee Lewis takes it back inside the 25. So a good job again. Defensively, Mitch Lavin, Craig Robertson, and let's not forget about P.J. Williams. Just down the street, and that's Compete Street, you see at the Saints facility, prove them right. And there's a lot of expectations, very high ones going in.
Nice twist on the phrase of prove them wrong. You know, all those expectations. I like how Sean Payton asks his players to embrace it.
Drew Brees getting ready for the opener, and back-to-back home openers here at the Dome. They start with 2, but we'll get into the schedule later because it's a brutal one. Traquan Smith on the quick reception for about 7, almost 8 yards. And now all of a sudden, Taysom Hill now getting a rhythm. 5 of 8 for close to 100 yards, just under 100 now.
And he's been able to look for or find Tommy Lee Lewis and Austin Carr. Tommy Lee Lewis had the around, and Austin Carr, he tried to find on the 3rd down and just wasn't able to pull in that ball. And later we'll see Rick Leonard, draft pick.
4th round pick. 7th round pick has looked pretty good. Will Clapp. Nothing doing that time for Jonathan Williams. Trying to pick his spot. They converged well, though. Kaiser and Lawler. And it's going to bring up a 3rd and short. Saints have dominated. They've got 7 first downs so far to just 3 for the Rams. And overall offensively, it's been one-sided as well. 156 yards to 69, but lead by only 6. And also a missed 2-point conversion if it joins us a little bit late. Marine in the backfield on 3rd and 2. Run pass option and a first down for Taysom Hill. Just enjoy that now because you're not going to see it with Drew Brees on the field.
No, but they've been able to move the pocket.
Yes.
3 or 4 of the passes have not come from your conventional 3 or 5 step drop. They're playing to Taysom's strengths, and he's an RPO guy. He's one that can get that first down in this situation.
So you're saying change the launch point?
You have to. That's where he excels. We've seen him when he breaks pocket. He can find the receiver and also run it for 60.
Got the first down. Man, nice battle by Williams coming off the left side. Jonathan Williams, more than 8, almost 9 on the carry.
You know, an interesting question was posed to Sean Payton earlier this week. And now that Teddy Bridgewater is here, it may be even louder. Would they use Taysom Hill in other roles offensively, a la Cordell Stewart type play? So if he's not your backup quarterback anymore and he's a core special teams guy, would you use him as a tight end every once in a while, an H-back type situation?
Williams doesn't get the first down. No gain on the carry, but to that thought, his versatility could play into the hands of a very creative guy like Sean Payton, let's face it.
And could cause problems for a defensive coordinator in situations where, usually you have to account for 10 guys. Now all of a sudden, you're worried about a quarterback who can run it.
What about the fake punt that he converted for a first down?
Extended the drive, ended up scoring on that.
Pretty unique stat line. Fake punt, tackle on special teams, rush for a touchdown, 7 for 8 passing. And he was everywhere.
We call in basketball, we call a guy that he fills up the box. Every little stat area. And going hard over to the left side. It's Williams. He's got the first down. Speaking of running really hard at the point of attack, Jonathan Williams at 6 feet even, 225. Look at that coming at you.
You posed a great question during one of the timeout stinches. Do we really have to make a choice here between Jonathan Williams and Shane Vereen and Boston Scott? Can the Saints keep all of them? I thought it was interesting that you brought that up.
Well, I think there might be space for them. Just depends on how many plays you can get from each guy offensively and through special teams.
And let's remind everybody, Ingram does not count against the 53-man roster for the first 4 weeks. Here comes the blitz. They pick it up well. Taysom Hill on the move. And there's the escapability that you were just talking about.
Well, look at his acceleration in space. I mean, the linebacker, Justin Lawler, sees him leaving the pocket, And he still accelerates for that first down. So he's got the wheels. I mean, the speed is never a question. He breaks the pocket. And for most guys, they'd run out as a 5 or 6 yard gain. He's able to pass the sticks.
Gain of 10 is a first down. All the way to the 42. Drive started, don't forget, at the Saints 23. Now Boston Scott gets his turn, and he looked good in the first series. With a counter action. And trying to weave his way back into the middle. Only about 2 on the carry. Head downstairs and check in once again with Megan Payton. Megan?
Yeah, guys, it's a competitive night for a lot of these Saints running backs who are trying to fill that Mark Ingram spot. I talked to Ingram before the game, and he told me he's going to be spending those 4 weeks in Florida training at a gym he's been going to for the past 6 seasons. He said he'll be surrounded by the people who love him. And guys, he said he's going to be back stronger and ready to go.
He's looked great in the preseason. He's looked really efficient in the preseason. It's just a shame he's going to miss the first 4.
Well, what a scary thought. You come in week 5 with a fresh Mark Ingram.
Healthy body. Here comes the blitz again. Hill's in trouble. And look at Boston Scott. Breaks the first one. Good job to get about 3 or 4 extra yards out of it after the contact.
Well, so here's what you got. Taysom Hill on the last screen wasn't able to see the play clearly and almost made a questionable decision. Now he's waiting. Oh, let me make sure. He backs up. Then he finds Boston Scott. Timing was off, but still delivered a good ball. And Boston Scott creates a positive gain out of a play that was otherwise busted.
Nice jump pass fading from the defender.
So now Hill 6 of 9 with that completion. It'll be third about 5. Underneath, low throw. He had Meredith, but there you're throwing and you're stepping back and you can't get as much on it.
Well, I think he felt some pressure. They were running a TE on the left side of the offensive line. He had more time than he thought. He threw off his back foot, and there was Cam Meredith coming across. But preseason coach Payton, what do we do in 4th down?
I love it. I really do. He's just nothing conventional. He's creative. We know that. He's a great offensive mind. We all know that. Shane Vereen in the backfield on 4th and about 5. Pocket holding up. Ton of time for Hill. And do you want to run for it? Why not? Slide, brother. Forget about it. He goes down head first at the 19. 18 yards on the run by Hill.
Oh, he is dangerous. And he's fun to watch. As long as it's not fumbles coming off of random plays, you can see he didn't find anything he likes. And Taysom Hill's able to run. I think we've got that down pretty clearly. Uh-oh.
6'2", 220.
Parker was pretty close to leading with his helmet on that tackle from Taysom.
Inside, Williams, about 3. That's the 12th play of the drive that started back at the Saints 23. So they've mixed it up effectively. I'd like to see Dan Arnold maybe get a touch. He's trying to make this squad as well.
Tight ends. That's a great point. It was players to watch. Who knows who those guys are? I mean, has there been anybody who stood out so far in this offense at the tight end position? I don't know. I haven't seen anybody.
Well, from a blocking standpoint, they'll break it down when they look at all 22 because the run game's been working. 2nd and 7. Going into the corner wide open. Touchdown, Cameron Meredith. Not a bad read.
Throw it to Traquan and Cam. That's been the story. They make it look easy out there. Cam Meredith's wide open, same way he was down the sideline on an earlier pass. Little wheel route, gets behind the defender.
Let's play 2. So Jonathan Williams and the 2-point conversion. That's why I say let's play 2. Carr one side, Meredith the other side, and Williams in decision cost him. Bouncing around to the backfield. So a wide open Cameron Meredith. He had a 56-yard reception. Now he's got a 16-yard TD from Taysom Hill. Anytime you see a 7-minute drive of the preseason, it is heaven on earth. 13 plays, 77 yards, and they mixed things up well, didn't they, Stinch?
Yes, it was a great combo of running, passing the ball. I thought Taysom Hill made some good decisions. He was able to convert third down with his feet and then find Meredith in the end zone. So great series for him, and good to see Cam Meredith on the past 2 series coming up big with a touchdown and a long pass.
Lutz gets into it. Natson waits as it's angled over to the far side. Good kick about 8 yards into the end zone. Natson, though, is going to bring it out. He's had that kind of success and that kind of confidence in the preseason, but this time he will not make it back to the 20.
And one of the first players down, the newest addition, or what, second newest addition, Tanner McAvoy. No relation to Rory or Roy McAvoy, but been down there.
I love Rory got a mention.
Yeah. McAvoy, McElroy, McAvoy.
Whatever it takes. 110, 120. So you see the numbers on Tanner McAvoy as a Seahawk, but he's a big guy. 6'6" target. And
Just
he can play well on
up.
specials.
Yep, seeing him line up, you can see that he is ahead and taller than the couple of DBs he was next to.
They run motion, the tight end. It's still Allen on the play fake in the backfield. Man, falling down his Munt, his target. Good coverage. Chris Banjo over there. And it's going to be interesting, the numbers in the secondary as well. You guys were just talking about P.J. Williams, who, let's face it, 3rd-round pick in 2015. They've invested in him, too.
Well, Chris Banjo's a guy that makes the Saints as a special teams player first. He's a real special guy when it comes to special teams. And, you know, he can play a little defensive back, too, for you. Justin Hardy falls into that category as well, number 34. And we've seen him line up here currently at the right cornerback in the first half.
Backs off after it looked like press coverage. Underneath, Munt breaks the tackle. And can he get away? No. So good work by Kakaha after he broke the original tackle from Hardy. And it's going to bring up 3rd and short.
So many decisions to make with this roster as to whether it's value on special teams or situational offensive, defensive plays. Some tough choices. I think different from last year, probably the starting 22 has been set, but the contributors, there's a lot of decisions to be made.
Need a little more than a yard. Long count, they don't bite. And won't get the yard. They stack him completely. Banjo, stalwart, and a loss of a couple of yards. And also, it was Nick Holley, the tailback, and he was buried in the backfield.
Penetration everywhere. Good job by the defensive front to kind of stone him there. Craig Robertson lines up in the hole, forces him to bounce it. Banjo, stalwart, finish it off.
Boy, when your big guys up front have good gap control, boy, it really frees up those linebackers to come in and make a play 2 yards and better behind the line of scrimmage.
So an opportunity to get it back and run a 2-minute drill. And that's healthy for Taysom Hill. Tommy Lewis waits back inside the 30. Stupar held as he was going to get a block of that one. On the fair catch, good job by Tommy Lee. Takes it at about the 43, but there's a hold on the outside. It looked like Stupar was held, but they said Nate was offside, which enables the Rams to keep the football. So they've got it 1st and 10, and their 2-minute offense with 2:16 to play. Heat on Allen, and bounced away. Hodge was the intended target. Good job on the outside by Hardy.
That's great coverage by Hardy. Interesting formation. Lined up Nate Stupar off the tight end who lined up at the X out there, but there's Hardy. Tight coverage, makes a play on the ball. Very disruptive for Hardy.
6'1", 200-pounder, trying to make it to his second season out of Illinois. Boy, the competition is intense. Well, the Saints are a very deep squad. Top 5 of the NFL now. And especially coming off the year they had. Blitz is picked up momentarily. And good open field tackle. So the completion goes to Stephen Mitchell. But he's pounced on immediately. And a good play by Jamerson, one of the guys we've been watching in the secondary. Two-minute warning arrived, and the Saints lead it by a couple of touchdowns and a couple of failed two-point conversions at the same time. A 12-0 game. And we welcome you back to the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. Jordan Johnston, Sean Kelly, Megan Payton. And we'll keep our eye. Stallworth has had a real good start tonight. Laven as well, and now Laven matching up in the middle more. Let's keep an eye on 92 on the edge on a third down out of the two-minute warning. And that's Marcus Davenport. Bottom of your screen on the edge. The blitz, Allen in trouble and down. Nate Stupar, who was held. They called him offside. He was also held on the play. So yeah, we always talk about how great he is on special teams.
Sweet redemption for Nate Stupar. Because of the penalty on him, he gets a chance to make up for it. Tackle kicks out to block Davenport. He comes unblocked, gets a sack. Now the Saints call timeout because you get a chance to run the 2-minute drill. But sweet redemption, man. You had a drive that was over, a penalty on you, extends it, and now you get the sack to force him into another fourth.
He's been playing with such joy during this training camp, coming off of the injury that stunted his season last year. He was very down about that whole situation. What a fight to get back. He's playing with such passion.
Oh, almost got it. It'll be Tommy Lee Lewis with a fair catch. Flag down on the play. He's got it about the 42, 43 yard line. Specials very strong right now for the Saints.
Well, Sean Payton said they would be looking at the kicking game long and hard in this fourth preseason game.
We have seen very few flags in this game. And we have raced through the first half until a minute 45 to play. Saints have 12 first downs, only 4 for the Rams, so that tells you about the defense. And let's not forget 36-6 last week. After the first drive, the defense, the 2s and 3s were exceptional last week against the Chargers.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, receiving team number 37 was out of bounds, blocking a player. 15-yard penalty, first down.
Arthur Millette, frustration.
Well, bottom of your screen right here. As a gunner, you know you're going to get driven out of bounds. But once you get out of bounds, you can't block him outside of the white. Now,
that's close. I mean, he blocked him out, but then he released.
15-yard penalty.
Right. Coach Westhoff,
Banta,
special teams coordinator. So Shane Vereen's going to take over in the backfield now. It's been a really good first half for Taysom Hill. Let's see if it continues. From the 26, Vereen on the delay. He's got a first down. Not a bad play call. So they'll move it up to the 38, gain of 11, call it. 90 seconds left in the half. 2 timeouts still on the board for the Saints. Great pocket protection. It's Dan Arnold who's fighting for a job. Trying to make the transition from wide receiver to tight end. Not easy, Stinch.
No, and good to see him making plays. It's one of those tight ends you're looking for. Who's going to emerge?
Out of Wisconsin Platteville. Hill on the out, and his receiver, Dan Arnold, fell down. Got all tangled up on the edge with the outside backer, Howard, the rookie out of TCU. Arnold goes at 6'6", 220, 225 to block as a tight end. It's the most difficult part for him.
It is. It's going to be a transition. He's the same size as Tanner McEvoy you just added. He's 6'6", 230. So both larger frame guys, but it's not about how big you are. It's about being in there and being able to block some big fellas that you're not used to doing.
2 to each side on a 3rd and 3. Underneath, play it safe, take what they give you, and it's a first down. That's Vereen on the reception. Good play, Taysom Hill.
They took a shot on the previous play, and Hill has shown in the last 2 drives mixing in good plays and making up for others. Good chance here in the 2 minutes.
Taysom Hill, 161 yards of total offense, 130 through the air. And remember, the Rams only have 71 as a unit, 71 yards of total offense. It's 249 to 71 overall for the Saints, but impressive for Hill, filling up the box.
One of the most impressive stats is 0 turnovers, something that plagued him in the first half of preseason 2.
You had to bring it up. 1st and 10 after the timeout. Saints still with 1 timeout remaining. Bring the extra one. Hill gets it off in time. Arnold hangs on. He's got it inside the 20 for a first down, and he knew he was going to take a shot.
Wow, Taysom Hill showing out this first half. He feels the pressure. He knows he's going to get hit. He's still able to deliver the ball only where Arnold can make a play on it. He was able to go up and grab it, used all 6'6" of his frame.
Gain of 29 on the delay. Vereen weaves his way. Only 1 timeout left. He gets about 4 down to the 16, and the Saints will take their final time out of the half. We mentioned Arnold trying to do whatever he can to stand out, and that's a big play.
Well, same thing for Taysom Hill. Stands in the pocket right here. Unblocked, wrapping linebacker. Delivers the ball. Arnold gets up there and grabs it. In traffic. 3 defenders surrounding him, still comes down with the ball. Look at those hands. Great job by Arnold going up and getting it. And, again, one of the players to watch. Who's that tight end? Arnold's staking his claim.
You know he can catch the football. There's no question about that. But when you got to put him next to the tackle, can he at least contain the pocket? As a blocking tight end. So out of timeouts on 2nd down. And off the fingertips of Vereen. And it falls incomplete. That's a break. Kaiser popped it away. And with Parker, who's diving for it, the rookie from Oklahoma.
Well, it's coming in hot. Looks like it either jammed right into the finger of Vereen, or maybe something a little extra.
And now you're out of timeouts. You only have 21 left in the half, 21 seconds. So, end zone. Got to look at the end zone. Saints 4 of 7 on their 3rd down tries. Well, they have enough time. Corner of the end zone. It's Meredith off his fingertips. Good thought process.
So close. 6 inches makes all the difference right there. Meredith's trying to get behind the defender. Same route. It's just a little, just outside the reach of Meredith right there. And Hill wanted it. You didn't see it on him.
Yeah, Meredith long too. That 6'3", legit 6'3". Will Lutz for the first time. A field goal attempt. It'll be a 34-yard try. As expected. So the Saints dominating for the first 30 minutes of play. And in the middle of things, does everything pretty well. Taysom Hill.
Going back, you look at Taysom Hill, stands in the pocket, delivers a nice long ball to Cam Meredith. Here's something we know he excels at. Get the first down with his feet. Good decision here, finding Boston Scott, even though the timing was off on the screen. Scrambles, has really put together a nice first half. And then that nice ball down the middle to Dan Arnold. Standing in the pocket, knew he was going to get a shot. 2 games back-to-back where, you had to come away with questions as to how he's able to contain it, but last week and this week, he's been able to really do more than just manage.
It's a great way to go into
We will have a re-kick.
Sorry?
Personal foul and a re-kick. Tony Correnti, our referee tonight. And we had no flags at all over the first 25 minutes of the first half. They're making up for lost time now. No penalty, as it turns out. Now they're going to put it down and kick it away. So we're going to head back to Juan Kincaid and Pat Swilling. They'll take over at the half. That's all coming up. Natson, about 4 yards into the end zone, is going to stay right there. Now their kicking game, don't forget, Zerline and Hecker both went to the Pro Bowl. And Zerline may have the longest. He can hit from 60 yards away. So maybe they're thinking about get it out there on the touchback, take it to the 25, get one pass, although they've been using Ficken as their kicker early in this game. And did they leave Zerline at home? He may be one of those guys didn't get on the charter.
It's possible. Their sideline looks like a regular season game, whereas the Saints sidelines twice as many players.
So first down from the 25. Davenport trying to get there. And it's popped away. Good play by the linebacker. Craig Robertson has been all over the place. And for a guy in his 7th year, you and I during the commercial, we were all talking about his motor and his passion.
But just his energy. He's brought it all game long. Don't tell him it's preseason game number 4. Sees where the play's going, makes a break on the ball, gets his hand in there. Just the recognition and his will to make a play.
7 seconds left in the half. And will they just run the football and get to the locker room? Exactly. Nick Holly, good play. Hardy on the outside. Fending off, shedding the block for the wide receiver. And getting to the running back. So Nick Hardy didn't hurt his, Justin Hardy rather, did not hurt his chances in the first half. So overall, defensively, Saints gave up 6 points last week. Pitching the shutout right now. A lot of positives for Juan Kincaid and Pat's willing to talk about as we join them at the break. Stay with us from the Dome. Get a 15-0 lead for the Saints at the break. Pretty impressive first half when you look at the numbers and break it all down. And the bottom line, you've only given up 72 yards of total offense. No points on the board for the Los Angeles Rams. And welcome back once again, Joel Myers, Super Bowl champion John Stinchcomb, Sean Kelly, Megan Payton will join us a little bit later. But a lot to talk about defensively.
Well, great job up front. You like what you saw from Mitch Lavin, Alex Anzalone with the turnover, and just overall the performance. Goose egg, 72 yards, a number of 3-and-outs. They extended a drive because of a penalty on 4th down. We're able to get another 3-and-out.
Right.
So just a dominant performance by this defense.
Yeah, and Sean, we realize it's not Jared Goff in there, but still you have to like what you see.
No, they've applied pressure to the quarterback. Good gap control, as you mentioned up front. Big improvement from last week, holding them to just 2.6 yards per carry in the first half.
Second half kickoff brought to you by the Visit Mississippi Gulf Coast. Book your end of summer adventure. Get 25% off your stay at visitgulfcoast.org. So the Rams will have to start the second half. They've got Natson back in the end zone. He's been the return man throughout the preseason. And let's see if there's changes for the Saints personnel-wise to look at more guys defensively. So it's Saturday, we remind you. Saturday at 3. Get it down from 90 to 53. Good kick by Will Lutz. Natson is not going to bring it out as we head downstairs once again to Megan Payton. Megan.
Hey guys, head coach Sean Payton told me at the half that the one guy that stood out to him was wide receiver Cam Meredith. He thought that Boston Scott ran the ball well, and he was impressed with tight end Dan Arnold. Also guys, defensively he was really pleased with how things were going in the first half.
All right, Megan, thank you. Yeah, he's got to like what he sees. And I'm glad she brought up Dan Arnold, who we've been talking about, and some of the other guys that we've also touched on as well.
Yeah, Dan Campbell, the tight ends coach, said one thing about Dan Arnold is we got to make sure that he can handle the non-catching duties so that teams don't key in the fact that when Arnold's on the field, we're throwing the ball. He is on my favorite diet, by the way. Eat everything in sight. And he's been trying to add about 10 to 15 pounds.
Yeah, we really have his issues metabolism-wise, don't we? Thank you. Brandon Allen stays in at quarterback. Underneath the tight end. Dumped by Hardy immediately. And that's Krieger Coble. Henry Krieger Coble. He's in his second season out of Iowa. And the pressure was there once again. And if you're not going to get to the quarterback, get your hands up.
And that's what Stallworth tries to do here. Almost gets a big old paw up there on it. But going back to Dan Arnold, he's almost like an oversized slot right now. He's one of those guys that is going to press against the tight ends and safeties and coverage, kind of a la Jimmy Graham or what you were hoping from Fleener, but not the run blocker to keep him honest yet.
They pick up Robertson on the blitz, middle of the field, and boy, there's a hook, but they're not going to throw it. So good play defensively. You can get away with that, Arthur Millette, because I thought he hooked him around the hip.
Which would be unfortunate for Millette because that would be his second penalty. But tight slot coverage, tries to make a play on the ball. Might have even got his hand on it. But you're right, Joel. One of the first things they look at is that back hand. And when you pull that back hip and spin the receiver, usually that comes with some yellow.
Brings up a 3rd and 7. You know, interesting comparison. Somebody, when we were talking about it at the start of camp, Jane Novacek started as a wide receiver. He was cut by the Arizona Cardinals. He didn't have a bad career with the Cowboys, did he? And that's what Dan Arnold's trying to accomplish on the outside off the fingertips of Fred Brown out of Mississippi State. And not a bad throw by Allen.
No, and he had pressure in his face. It comes from Stallworth. He's working over the right guard, gets a push, finally gets free and wraps him up. And this is Hardy, one-on-one coverage, has a little bit of a stumble there and tries to catch up.
Timeout, Rams. So they're going to say it was prior to the snap, and they're going to get 3rd down over.
How about that?
Well, I'll still take the play on tape because they still played it all the way through, and we got to see the great effort by Stallworth and Hardy on that play. So it may not count in the game log tonight, but on film, it matters for those two guys.
I've been impressed with how many snaps Davenport's taken tonight. He's still in the game.
The game clock operator, please reset the game clock to 14:15. 14:15. Thank you.
He's worked primarily over the left tackle of the Rams. He switched over and worked some left defensive end in this series, but they're trying to get him the reps. He needs them. He's a raw, talented guy. He's got the tools, but still trying to put it together.
What does he have to do better in this half?
Well, number one, I think overall what's going to help him most is get off. When that ball snaps, he's got to get moving.
They get a reprieve on the 3rd down. From the 28. Low snap for Allen. He comes. He's on his way down. Flag on the play. Stallworth has it. Inside the 10. The big guy's in.
Oh, D-line.
Work on that celebration.
Oh, wow. How about that? So
now does it come back, though?
Illegal use of the hands of the face defense. Number 60. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Well, it can't be 60.
Number
That's max.
68.
Yeah.
68.
coming from the right side of your screen, he just leaves his hand up there as Devereaux Lawrence trying to get to the quarterback. Now Davenport's the player who gets there. Works his way around, finds himself. Plus you get a touchdown from Stallworth. You hate it for him to bring that one back. But as an offensive lineman, if the defender leaves his hands in your face that long,
he's trying to get his hand up to deflect a potential throw.
Yep, I agree.
That's a little
only because
iffy.
you're black and gold.
delay of game coming up on the Rams.
Delay of game, offense, 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
Is there a more demonstrative player than Greg Robertson?
Well, he's setting the tone. I mean, he is the spirit of this group right now. And if they feed off of him, well, you saw in the previous play, the spirit that the group plays with is keyed on 52 right now.
He's a 30-year-old playing like a 20-year-old is what it boils down to. He's got that much of a passion for what he's doing. This is his 7th year out of North Texas. And nobody ever gave him a thing. Don't forget, when he came into the league, he was not drafted. On first down and long, Allen's got a ton of time and a 4-man rush. And he'll get out of bounds after a gain of maybe a yard or two at the most. And no, he loses a yard after all said and done. George Johnson flushed him out.
Wow, play action pass. Give credit to the secondary. They had to cover for 8 days. Banjo, you see him trying to cover him up. But really, just a great job by the secondary, because that play action pass, they had 0 pass rush up front.
So it seems like it's been a half hour this drive, even though it's only 90 seconds into the 3rd quarter. It's officially a sack because it's a loss of a couple of yards on the scramble. And now on 2nd and long, blitz from Stupar. He's got him. Untouched.
Unblocked, untouched. 2nd sack for Nate Stupar, where he doesn't even have to beat the offensive line or running back. He times it up so well right here. He comes in untouched. Looks like the offensive line was working to the outside linebacker. So was the running back. It's nothing but clear skies for Nate Stupar as he flies to the quarterback.
Couple of sacks for Stupars because he got the one where he forced the quarterback out of bounds for a loss. Offside, 3 down. If he doesn't get the first down, he won't. But a head start, unfortunately, top of your screen. So Natson, JoJo Natson, has been bringing back the kicks and punts on the reception. So they'll take the play over, I would imagine.
We get another shot at 3rd down. George Johnson's one of your defensive ends who came in at the end of last season, was productive sack producer for this defensive front. Might have been a little antsy.
In his 7th season from Rutgers.
Offside, defense, 5-yard penalty, repeat, 3rd down.
Where was Tony pointing right there? He go to the sideline. That team was offsides. Never seen that before.
He's headed northeast. That's all we know about Tony. From the 20-yard line, it is going to be 3rd and better than 20. Holly in the backfield, along with Allen, out of the gun, and on top of the situation again. Well, Devereaux Lawrence, Taylor Stallworth have both had phenomenal preseasons.
And it continues right here. The penetration Lawrence is able to get. I'm sure he's still fired up over that hands to the face, but unbelievable. I mean, he was in the backfield. They had nowhere to go with the draw.
Well, we talked about earlier in this preseason, there might be some guys that the Saints have to release that will be on other rosters. These guys are making a bid for not only this team, but others that they play tonight.
I think interior defensive line is one of the more loaded positions.
And it's blocked away. The specials come up. The block, the touchdown. The Saints get great plays. Jumper on the block. Elliott on the touchdown. They were close to getting a block earlier.
Yes, they were. The previous 2 punts, and they were 1 step away from a block punt, and they weren't 1 step away right there. Colton Jumper all over it. Nobody's offsides on that one. They're celebrating in the end zone.
It is not Hecker. They're a Pro Bowl punter. It's Ficken. Jaron Elliott with the touchdown. Colton Jumper, though, with the block. This is going to be difficult. really difficult decisions for the Saints this coming weekend by Saturday. The 2s and 3s have had a great preseason,
which is a great indication of good depth.
You said it. So now Will Lutz in for the point after. So we've seen a little bit of everything. The offense has done their job. The defense has been on top of the situation. And now the special teams come through at a 22-0 lead.
Tonight's Saints game brought to you in part by Verizon and by Visit the Mississippi Gulf Coast. Congratulations to Kaylee Robb from New Orleans. She won an end-of-summer adventure on the Mississippi Gulf Coast. Enter for a chance to win yours at gulfcoast.org.
Yeah, the D has been the story tonight for the Saints. The offense hasn't been bad either, but the defense has dominated since the first drive, and some decent runs against the first team defense, or at least second unit defense, because not a lot of first teamers are out there tonight. Had a good return by Natson across the 20 to 25, but that's why I say, Stinch and Sean, that it's going to be difficult for Mickey Loomis and Sean Payton making the determination to get down to 53.
Tough choices. Linebacker, defensive back. You're going to have to let go of some folks that you probably don't want to.
Well, I think that also that factors into this conversation is something, Stinch, that you and I have talked about with the way the kickoff is now. You may see a different style of player making this team on special teams. So a Colton Jumper may be in the conversation as opposed to maybe not so much in years prior.
Well, are they available for the Pels? Because we're going to be talking to Alvin Gentry in just a moment. Over to the right side, nothing doing again. Total shutdown. Nick Holley, the tailback, maybe 2 out to the 26. So now some of the seconds, thirds even get in there for the Saints. Well, we saw Jay Bromley a little bit earlier, but want to welcome in now. And we don't want to make him wait. And Stinch, pick up headphones.
Stinch is walking off like he gets a break.
Yeah,
what are you,
Stinch,
in the union? What's the deal?
Back in.
We're joined now, and that's the best shot of us all night. We're blocked. It's Alvin Gentry with us, the head coach of the Pels, as we go into the basketball season and football season. But first of all,
there is no foul for intentional
congratulations.
grounding. The quarterback was outside the pocket and threw the ball beyond the line of scrimmage.
Okay, thank you, Tony. Alvin Gentry with us. First of all, congratulations. Second round, first time for the franchise in a decade.
That's good. I thought our guys played well. We did a really good job at the end of the season. We had to win 5 straight games to even get in the playoffs. I thought our guys had such focus, and then we got in the playoff and obviously played great against Portland. I thought we played great against Golden State. They were just too much firepower there.
Right. And only 3 titles in the last 4 years for those guys. Bring them on. On the reception, it's Natson, and I believe he's right at the marker. Let's see if they give it to him. But we are joined by Alvin Gentry. Now as we get ready for the new season, all right, your expectations, because you've got some new components coming in.
Yeah, we're excited about Julius Randle. We're also excited about Elfrid Payton, a local guy that everyone is kind of familiar with. And, we're going to have a complete training camp with Miritich this time. So I like our chances. I know the West is very, very difficult. But I think you're going to see us play a much more up-tempo basketball. And, I think AD is just going to continue to get better. Drew Holiday's had a great year also. So I think we like our team.
Yeah, we like your team too. And we want to bring up Jaleel Okafor as well, because I've been following him. Yes. Jaleel looks like he's in the best shape of his young life, and he's been working on a jumper too.
Oh, very much so. He's in great shape. He's got a great little six-pack down there. Real proud of it. He takes off his shirt every day now.
I would be too, Coach. If I had a six-pack, I wouldn't wear a shirt.
Yeah, I would too. But when you hit 64, the six-pack goes away.
Those days are behind you.
Yeah.
Alvin Gentry is with us. Let's talk about the finish to the season. And you brought it up. And over the last 30 games, I don't want to get into the particulars of the numbers, but Anthony Davis was all world over the last 30 games when DeMarcus Cousins went down. He seemed like a different player.
Holding, offense, number 73. 10-yard penalty, repeat, second down.
The mentality of Anthony Davis, I think you saw the growth as well from a psychological standpoint.
Yeah, I thought much. The thing I liked the most that happened, when DeMarcus went down, obviously that was a devastating injury for our team. But AD came in and said, I guess I'm going to have to be Russell Westbrook now. And I said, you won't see me arguing that one. And
Right.
he pretty much did. He had the last part of the season, I thought he was as good as anybody in the NBA, and he carried our team and did a great job. And when we had to win those 5 games to get into the playoffs, he really, really stepped up. He and Drew Holiday both.
Yeah, healthy situation for the Pels going into the new season. And let's talk about tempo and pace, because things changed dramatically. You had to change because DeMarcus went down, and you went away from 2 bigs. And now you're going to have Julius Randle, who's got a monster motor, wants to run the floor. You led the league in pace over the last 30 games of the season. How do you see it developing this year?
Well, I think we want to lead the league from start to finish in pace, and I think you're going to see us play even much faster than we did at the end of last year. Julius Randle, to me, could be kind of a Draymond Green type player. He's going to push the basketball. Elfrid Payton, I told someone that he was second in the NBA to getting the ball to the basket behind a guy named Russell Westbrook. And I think anytime you're behind Russell Westbrook, you've done something pretty doggone good.
It'll be a 4th down coming as the defense stands out once again.
All right, Alvin, I know you're a big fan of this game as well. LeBron James, what position would he play on this football field?
Oh, I think he'd be a tight end or a defensive end and be pretty good at it, But what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get Sean to allow me to have Hill just for a few games. The guy's phenomenal. There can't be anyone in the history of the NFL that have ever, made a tackle on special teams, ran a touchdown, threw a touchdown, faked the punt. I think he did everything, and he held for the extra point. So I think he can convert right over to the NBA.
All right, Alvin, we appreciate you coming by. We're looking forward to the opener. And we want to remind everybody to head over to Pelicans.com. Because at Pelicans.com on Tuesday, you can see Megan Payton's exclusive sit-down with Alvin Gentry. I know she grilled you. She's on top of it. Thanks, Alvin. Young man from Wichita Falls, Texas, takes over now at quarterback. And that is J.T. Barrett. And we saw some good things from him early in the preseason and his mobility.
And he looked accurate when he threw the ball. His completions were nice, so good opportunity for him the second half.
It'll be Boston Scott making a miss. What a move in the backfield. That little jump cut, trying to catch him.
Shifty, unblocked defender on the edge of the line. He's able to make him miss. Get a first down out of the deal. That was a one-man play right there because nobody blocks that safety at the end of the line.
Well, first you got to find him. That's the hardest part.
Shifty.
Yes, and then he's like trying to tackle a fire hydrant.
He's 5'6", so he's not going to make the comparison to a guy who was here for a long time that was 5'6", and incredible. Play fake. Barrett with a bullet and almost intercepted. Thrown behind Tommy Lee Lewis. As defending on the play and doing a great job was Curtis Mickle.
Well, credit Tommy Lee Lewis with a PBU. That's a pass breakup. The ball's behind him. This crossing route, deep cross. Defender plays underneath it, and you see Tommy Lee Lewis has a little cornerback in him because that very easily could have been an interception.
So now it's going to be 2nd and 10. And by the way, with Boston Scott, he's up 7 carries for 37 yards. Good average. Flanker screen barely tripped up. Tommy Lee had a good job on the outside. Otherwise, that could go.
I think it's worth noting, watching J.T. Barrett play this probably entire second half, he may get more reps tonight than he has in 2 weeks of practice. He's the 4th man on the depth chart. In any given period, he may get a couple of throws, 2-3 plays, and that's it.
Well, then it really pays dividends for him because he's auditioning for 31 other teams. And that's what it's all about. Plenty of time. Deep for Arnold. And it looks like it's an interception. Did he control it or not? Yes. Pick for Stephen Parker. So Parker makes a diving play, the rookie from Oklahoma, the backup safety for the Rams. And it goes back to Los Angeles at their own 34. Pretty late. Saints backup quarterback J.T. Barrett reviewing the window that closed, that opportunity, because Dan Arnold was available, wasn't he?
Well, he had him. He was, you have the deep safeties, and they're just playing the area. If Barrett were able to get the ball to him just a little bit quicker, Arnold was open, but Parker comes back into the picture as the offside safety and makes a play on the ball.
So the Rams get it at their own 34. A little more than 5 to play in the third. Man, it's Luis Perez in there at quarterback with a flag down on the play. The new quarterback's a rookie out of Texas A&M Commerce at 6'3", 220 pounds. Robert Nelson over on the coverage.
Holding, defense number 36. 5-yard penalty and an automatic first down.
Well, it doesn't take too much of a stretch to be able to call this a pass interference. The ball is about 10 yards short of where that little wrestling match was going on.
So essentially you're saying it was a catchable ball.
It wasn't even in the same side of the field.
On the run, not much available on first down as Rose goes down after a gain of about 4. Well, it's still time to sign up for the Saints kickoff run. Saints kickoff run starts outside the Mercedes-Benz Superdome right here in Champion Square and continues down 4th Street through the French Quarter before the runners come right back to finish on the field at the 50-yard line. So be a part of it all. The race is going to be held on Saturday, September 8th. So sign up right now at saints5k.com. On 2nd and 6, Rose again lowers his shoulder. Be your own blocker, and he's got a first down. Across the midfield stripe. Gain of 8. Down at the Saints 49. So this is all after the pick. And they're trying to produce points for the first time tonight. Saints' first points came off a turnover. Now, granted, it was a 91-yard drive, but if you join us later, it was a pick by Alex Anzalone.
I know it's only preseason, but 58 unanswered points scored by the Saints dating back to last week.
Yeah, and that was the 36-6 final. Always good to see Michael Stanfield here at the Dome. It's 1st and 10 for the 49 on the play fake. Perez on the edge, and it was there for the taking. Good read, and he knew it was there for the taking, and that's Arthur Millette. He's shown up on the film tonight.
He has. He's trying to leave his mark. That was one of the keys. He's covering the slot. He's able to undercut the route. He knows where the ball's coming. Oh, you got to make that one. He saw it. He put himself in a great opportunity to make a play, and maybe a few more reps on the jugs machine tomorrow.
Well, the defense would have a touchdown had it not been for a penalty play. They had the sack of the quarterback in the first half and the pickup of the return by Stallworth. But they called Lawrence for a shot to the side of the head. And on a jump ball, catch is made by Fred Brown. So he's got it. He pulls it off on Lyndon Stevens.
That's one of the biggest differences you see from the college ranks to the professional ranks is every ball's almost contested. For these wide receivers, they have to be able to catch a ball with somebody trying to knock it away every play. So Stevens right there, he's in a position to make a play, and you're forcing the wide receiver to still be able to pull the ball down, and Brown does.
It'll be a 3rd down, man short. And Rose gets it. So the running back picks up the first down. Stupar on the coverage, or at least the tackle, and it's down to the 38-yard line.
Did you say their quarterback was from Texas A&M Commerce? Joe? I bet you there's not more than 2 of our viewers tonight that know the mascot for the Fighting Commerces.
Ah, great.
The Lions, by the way. The Lions.
1st and 10 from the 38. Started back at the 34 for the Rams on the cutback. It's Rose again. He's got about 4. So he's getting the Holly got the first half carries. Now it is Rose.
Joel, how about Sean right here? Trying to come in with all these trivia questions.
He wins.
Unbelievable.
The smartphone is a wonderful tool.
I didn't know. A&M Commerce.
Yeah.
Fighting
Economists. No, Lions. Thank you, Google.
Love Todd Gurley, don't forget, who only accounted for 2,000 yards from scrimmage last year in the backfield with Jared Goff.
It's not out there right now, Joel.
No. And remember, defensively, good stop. Stupar going low as Rose is shut down that time. Almost no gain on the carry. Let's not forget Aaron Donald, the NFL Defensive Player of the Year, hasn't taken a snap. Now he's holding out for more, right?
Hasn't taken a practice snap, much less a preseason game snap. They don't even have half their team here. It's 0 snaps preseason for Goff, for Gurley, for most of their receivers, and Kupp. And Aaron Donald hasn't been in camp. So totally different approach. Something to monitor. If it goes well, maybe it's something they move towards. It's definitely been
False start. Offense, number 39. 5-yard penalty remains.
Well, he also saw Jerry Jones' comments this week about going down to 2 preseason games.
Well, that was what it leads into.
Right.
The value of these preseason games. It's always been a great evaluator. And since the new CBA, and by new I mean 8 years ago, there have been complaints where you're not having the time to develop players. Well, it seems like the way the preseason has gone, they're not trying to use that as a developmental tool anymore. Am I wrong here?
Different for every team, I think.
Yeah, but to a certain extent, you don't find out about Devereaux Lawrence or Taylor Stallworth. The pass is complete. Had a good throw by Perez. Punched out. It's free. And did the Saints get it? Smart play. Didn't quit on it. A takeaway. It'll be Stupar coming up with it.
He's had a great game, hasn't he?
They completed it to Fred Brown.
Rolling on the field was a completed pass with a fumble. Recovery inbounds by New Orleans. First down.
Another takeaway for the Saints. They've had a couple. Not only that, they've had a special teams touchdown too. So a heads-up play, and the Saints get it back up by 22. Smart play by the rookie out of Boston College, 6th-round pick Cameron Moore, who didn't stop on the play.
Well, you never quit on the play. You're looking right here at the circle. He's got good coverage, tries to make a play on the ball, but he doesn't stop. And here comes Cameron Moore behind to punch the ball out. Stupar jumps on it quickly. And if you're going to have a sustained drive, what better way than create a turnover?
It's Boston Scott slowed down to the backfield and put down after no gain, maybe a loss of a yard. But to your point, Sean, Stupar now 7 total tackles, 5 solo stops, 3 sacks, and on the spot for the fumble recovery.
Well, you talked about Taysom Hill filling up the box score earlier tonight. How about on the defensive side of the football? That's a lot of crooked numbers across the board.
Look at him out of breath over there.
I believe it.
I do.
He's been everywhere.
He has been. He's sideline to sideline. He has run really hard. Scott, the single again. Better run. He waited for the hole to open. Didn't run himself out of the play. And that may be the final snap of the third. Only the second possession of the third quarter. And it brings up a third. It'll be interesting. Thanks again to Alvin Gentry for taking the time to join us, the Pels head coach. And one thing I didn't bring up, and he and I talked about it when he was walking out, Frank Jackson has had a sensational summer. The 31st overall pick in last year's draft out of Duke. So good days ahead for Alvin and the Bells. Right now, great days for the Saints as we get ready for the final 15 minutes of the preseason.
This broadcast is copyrighted by NFL Productions for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the consent of NFL Productions is prohibited.
Welcome back to the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. Joel Myers, John Stinchcomb, Sean Kelly, Megan Payton, and the Saints-ations entertaining while we were away. As the Saints pitching a shutout. Look at the 3rd and 6. First snap of the 4th quarter. It's deflected at the line and falls incomplete. So it looked like the backer Howard, the rookie out of TCU, coming off the edge, got a piece of it once in. He's shown up for the Rams tonight regularly.
He has. He comes off unblocked on the top of your screen. It's right around the edge. 5-man protection.
So Thomas Morstead in to punt it away. It'll be Natson waiting. Good hang time. And over to the boundary as well. Doesn't hurt. Good coverage all the way around. Good night for the special teams. And we're going to look at one of the most difficult schedules in the NFL when we come back to the Dome. Now looking ahead, the regular season schedule and breaking it down. 6 in the division. 3 against division winners from the NFC. 3 out of the NFC East, 4 against the AFC North, and then we'll break down and we'll take a look at the entire schedule. Remember, the Saints were a good road team last year because they've got some tough, difficult road games. They were 4-4. If you play 500 ball on the road, that's good in this league. And since 2009, don't forget the Saints have the best road record in the NFL. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 27. On the play fake, Perez. And overshooting his intended target. Now it starts okay. You're at home. You got the Bucs and the Browns, and hopefully a very good start before you see the Dirty Birds in Atlanta.
You got 2 at home to start the season and 2 at home to end the season. But you look at that back half, really just this whole section right here. Look at the back half of that schedule. Philly, Atlanta, Dallas, Tampa, Carolina, Pittsburgh, Carolina.
3 straight on the road. That late in the year. It's Rose. He's not going anywhere. Getting in there. Taking care of business with Bromley along with Moore. So you want to start, you got to take care of business at home. And the Saints last year, don't forget, 7-1 at home last year. The home field advantage. And since 2008, the 5th best home field advantage. And
you're going to need to build some momentum. Unlike this past season, you start off 0-2. You probably want to start off 2-0 and go into Atlanta with some momentum.
This is a serious advantage when you get to play here in front of this crowd. Now here comes the heat, and perfect for Stupar. He was the intended target. It didn't look that way. They punch it out from behind, and who gets it? Looks like the Rams get it back.
Well, I'll tell you this. I felt like Stupar was missing another couple categories for tonight, and fumble recovery, block punt, for all these stats, he needed an interception.
There was a fumble, there was an interception by New Orleans. They gained possession of the ball. They then fumbled it back to Los Angeles. It will be Los Angeles' ball, 1st down and 10 yards to go.
Was he down first? Awfully close. Nate Stupar just pointed to the ground thinking that he was down.
He said, no, I wasn't.
Back to the schedule for a moment. I think history has proven that playoff teams find themselves involved in a winning streak somewhere along the way. When I look at that schedule, I start to sit there and think about where's the win streak come in that
play
slate.
will go under review.
Yeah, is the need down? And we will find out when we come back. They're going to look at it, see if Stupar was down before it was punched out by the wide receiver Mitchell.
Tonight's Saints game brought to you in part by Cox. Fastest internet speed and in-home Wi-Fi for the best football experience at home. And by Rouser's Market, the official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints and Bannon. And by Toyota. Let's go places.
Pretty close to a perfect night for Nate Stupar. The interception, it's still official. It's an interception, but as he patted himself on the helmet there, mistake at the end of the play because it did get away. So it's back to the Rams with 13:48 left in the preseason. Had a first down for the Rams at their own 27. Rose belted in the backfield. He lost the football. It's on the ground. And did the Saints get it back? George Johnson after it. No. We were just discussing the schedule.
Rolling on the field, fumble recovered by Los Angeles. Second down.
After the first 4 weeks, then Mark Ingram is back. And he will be in rhythm by the time the Saints hit that part of the schedule that's really intense. Let's head downstairs to Megan Payton. Megan.
For the first time since 2004, the Saints will be starting their season with back-to-back home games. I talked to Drew Brees earlier, who told me that a fast start is something that they've lacked in the past. He said there's a great sense of urgency and that they're really going to need to take advantage of these home games.
Well, you see who's with them right now, Megan, and I love it because it's Teddy Bridgewater. And you saw earlier Teddy Bridgewater was right next to Mark Ingram and Alvin Kamara and guys that he is going to be a sponge around and pick up everything.
What an amazing pickup. I mean, to have the opportunity to get Teddy Bridgewater for the year, hopefully more, but that's your number two. We saw this year how important the backup quarterback is with the world champion.
Carson Wentz to Nick Foles. Come on, if they don't have Nick Foles, they're now winning a Super Bowl.
Now, I hope to not see Teddy Bridgewater take a snap this year, but to have him and be able to work with him, and he's learning under Drew, learns the system, I think it's a great fit.
Good to see Taylor Stallworth back on his feet after being shaken up on that play. He's flashed for us tonight, he and Devereaux Lawrence both. Back to the Bridgewater thing, it becomes an even more valuable situation if they lock him up beyond this one season.
Yeah, you're looking at a guy that's 25. Drew is 39. And hopefully Drew plays forever, but you got to figure a couple of more years of Drew at least. And then Bridgewater at 27 and Drew at 41. It could be a natural progression.
Yes, and you know, third-round pick for 1 year sounds high, but there aren't many Teddy Bridgewaters available to come in as your number two.
It'll be a second and long after the fumble. Grab made. And Mitchell has it. The rookie out of USC, who took it away from Stupar from behind. He forced that up in front. The quarterback, he pulled it off in front of Lyndon Stevens. So now you want to get the premium now, and we'll go back to the schedule a little bit. But the premium now is health. Get out of here. You saw Stallworth come off the field. Get out of here healthy, because so far, knock on wood, it's been a really good preseason as far as that's concerned.
Well, I agree with you. And see Alex Okafor playing earlier tonight after his potentially serious injury that turned out to be not so bad. That's huge for the Saints in starting the regular season.
3rd and 3 for Perez. And in single coverage, it's over the back shoulder. The receiver looking over the inside shoulders. Fred Brown. Good coverage, though, downfield for the Saints and Lyndon Stevens.
Lyndon Stevens is step for step the whole way. And you talk about injuries. They're going to be a problem. They're going to be a part of your season. But tonight, Cam Meredith, his ability to come back from his injury from last year, that's encouraging. You're going to have to count on some guys that are rebounding. Andrus Peat earlier on was getting more reps because he's still recovering.
Low snap as Ficken gets it away. He's already had one blocked. Tommy Lee Lewis on the return. And a good one across the 30 out to the 34. Well, the sound of the game brought to you by Raising Cane's, official chicken of your New Orleans Saints, feeding your game day party for over 20 years now.
time to play a little football.
Mark Ingram makes you feel like a kid against Inch.
Oh, I love it.
Come on.
Are you ready for some football? He's ready to watch some football tonight. He was just stretching to get loose. Make sure he could make it all the way over to the sideline tonight.
He looked very good earlier in the preseason.
He looked great.
He looks like he's been in shape. Man, Alvin Kamara as well. So now the bulk of the load, it's Kamara the first 4 games. And that's what we've been discussing throughout the course of the contest tonight. Who's it going to be behind Kamara? Is it going to be Jonathan Williams? What about Boston Scott? Because they are opposites. Let's face it. Scott, make a miss. I mean, he's a difficult guy. He's 5'6". High snap on the punt for Tommy Lee to the sideline. And he's out of bounds at about the 35, 36-yard line. So you know Zach Lyon's going to be your one fullback. Look at it that way. Then after Alvin, because Ingram doesn't count against the 53-man roster.
Well, if you're looking at styles, to me, you got Mark Ingram, who's not going to be there for 4 weeks, but Jonathan Williams is the only between-the-tackle style runner on that list for the first 4 weeks. Alvin Kamara, you know how dynamic he is, and he can run between the tackles, but that's more in line with what Shane Vereen and Boston Scott, that's where their strengths are.
And Vereen out with a finger injury that he suffered tonight. Now, Blake, 3rd series. And out of bounds he goes after a gain of about 2 or 3. And he's playing, and we mentioned it, getting reps on film, other potential suitors. Other teams that could be interested, getting young man. And whether it's the practice squad or the regular rotation for another team. Because you got to believe you're keeping the 2 quarterbacks. You've got Bridgewater, and then Taysom Hill, who's your reserve behind. And he's going to be a special teams guy. From the 37, it'll be 2nd and long. Penetration to the backfield. Williams had no choice. They took away that path over to the left side. Loss of a couple. Micah Kaiser in the backfield. He's a rookie from Virginia. So you want to keep the clock moving. That's the key. 4 minutes into the 4th. Offensive line. You look at who's out there right now.
You got Leonard at right tackle. If you're looking for a guy to watch up front, he's your 4th round draft pick. Haven't seen much of him this preseason.
Held up well there, didn't he, on the kick out? Williams across the 40 to the 42. Gain of about 7. But a punting situation coming up for the Saints. Or will they go for it on 4th down?
Stinch, is it fair to give a full evaluation on a guy like Rick Leonard, who's still learning the position, played it a little bit at Florida State, but not a full body of work with the Seminoles?
Well, you knew coming in. I mean, that was his draft MO. Is he's raw. He's going to take some time to develop. He's big. He's athletic, but you know he's not there yet. So he's going to need to develop, and it's whether or not you have a spot for him.
Trying to get him offside on the hard count. And a delay of game.
Full start. Offense number 5.
Yeah.
Prior to the penalty, timeout, New Orleans. A 30-second timeout.
A little aggressive with his body movement there, trying to get him drawn offside. It's a little bit of a point of emphasis. I think Aaron Rodgers brought that to the forefront. Tried to crack down on it a little bit, but it sounds like they got the timeout called beforehand.
I would say that J.T. Barrett gets away with that a little more in the Big Ten as opposed to the NFL.
It'll be Morstead. They're just trying to get him on to jump. It was 4th and 4.
Morstead can jump. What is that like a...
I think he's on the team. Morstead, what about you?
Safe bet.
JoJo Natson again. He's going to field it inside the 10. Not going to turn the corner here. And down he goes. Good special teams coverage again. Cameron Moore. He punched it out, created a turnover for the Saints, and now special teams play as well.
Tonight's Saints game is brought to you in part by Rouse's Markets, the official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints and Dannon. And by Visit the Mississippi Gulf Coast. Enter to win your end of summer adventure at gulfcoast.org.
Difficult decisions coming up while we were away discussing whether you've got it. Here we just saw Cameron Moore, a 6th-round pick. We saw Rick Leonard, a 4th-round pick at right tackle in textbook play, helping his quarterback. As the Rams have it back inside their own 5 at about the 2 and a delay of game. I'll make it a false start.
Offense, number 11. Penalty is assessed half the distance to the goal. Remains first down.
And you're trying to make a team that was a snap away from going to the NFC Championship game last year. A deep team already. This is really tough.
And that's what makes it hard. Top to bottom, you come into this training camp, unlike past years where you knew most of your starters. So you're battling for reserve spots pretty much from the jump. It's a tough roster to crack.
Rams inside their own 2 now. And barely out of the end zone. Larry Rose III. Yeah, if you're a free agent, this is a tough place to crack a 53-man roster, let alone the guys that you've taken and made draft choices out of.
And we've made the notion for the 90 that we're watching in black and gold that they're applying for 31 different jobs. But that's the same for the 53 that make this roster. They're competing against the 90 from the other 31 teams.
It's a 2nd and 11. Rose, he busted, and he's got room. First down across the 20. They finally caught him at about the 24. 22-yard game.
Well, Stitch, you make a great point because I don't think for a minute that Sean Payton and Jeff Ireland and Mickey Loomis don't bring somebody in from elsewhere. I mean, we saw it last year with Austin Carr, Taysom Hill. He's already brought in 2 new players this week. They have a penchant for making sure they've got a finger on all those other cuts that happened this weekend.
That's right. Well, Tanner McAvoy just got brought in for this game. So there's still shifts to be made.
Bunch over on the near side, so the run over to the far side is Rose. Past the 27, it's a clock runs with 8 to play in the preseason.
I mean, for example, take Rick Leonard. Somebody say, well, how could you cut a 4th-round guy? Now, of course, initially knee-jerk, you'd say, well, you didn't draft well. Well, if you cut him and pick up a tackle, a swing tackle that can help you, well, then essentially that player who comes from somebody else's roster becomes your 4th-round pick. And so nothing lost there. You're still gaining a player on your 53-man out of what was the 4th-round spot.
If he figures into the equation, you're right. And that's why Will Clapp is an interesting proposition as well. Play clock winding down on a 2nd and 6. Again, the blitz, and it's popped away and picked up. Was it a catch, though? Loose stuff, out of bounds. And I don't think it's covered. Nope. Rams ball.
For J-Ron Elliott bringing the hammer here.
It was a fumble forward and out of bounds.
And
ball be brought back to the spot of the fumble. It'll be New Orleans ball.
They're giving it. They're going to say it was a catch and a fumble.
And look who's in the quarterback's face. Nate Stupar almost had his, 4th sack of the game?
Yeah, he ran with it a couple of steps.
J-Ron Elliott causes the fumble.
Yep. Didn't know if they called it a completion or not, but they're going to say he took those 2 steps. It was a completion. And again, Saints defense. The specials have been there. Defense has been there. And Stupar, he has timed the snap as well as you'll ever see a guy time a snap.
Certainly has. He's got their cadence down. Going back to Leonard, he's a developmental guy. His upside is high. He's athletic. He moves well. He just doesn't quite have the technique yet. So they knew that when they drafted him. So I wouldn't doubt if they have a spot for him. There's probably an understanding that he's going to take some time.
Boston Scott on the toss sweep. And Boston Scott's into the secondary and a 1st and goal inside the 10. He has not hurt his chances tonight at all.
Well, what makes it that much cooler is that 5'6" Boston Scott is running behind 6'10" Wozniak on the play. So you talk about the poles, the extremes. But that draft class, Traquan Smith jumps out to me as the immediate playmaker who's going to contribute all season long. And then you have some guys that, which direction are they going to go? How are they going to use them?
It's a 1st and goal for Scott. Can't turn the corner. No gain on the carry. There is a flag down. What was Darren Sproles? 5'6", basically?
Yes.
Same as Boston Scott.
And
Drew Brees utilized Darren pretty well.
Oh.
Man, what a combination.
Holding, offense number 83. 10-yard penalty, repeat 1st down.
Deion Yelder, the rookie out of Western Kentucky.
It's pretty elite company when you even mention the name Darren Sproles.
Just watching film of Vi Sikahema recently. You remember Vi? out of BYU. Man, what a returner, what a special guy like that out of the backfield in pass catching situations.
And they use their size to their advantage.
Jonathan Williams in the backfield on the cutback. Good yardage. Inside the 15. Gain of about 6. I like the way you brought it up, though, earlier with Jonathan Williams between the tackles is your pure power player. And then you've got the nice compliment of the outside guy and the make a miss guy, Boston Scott.
Yes. So just watching the way Jonathan Williams ran that last play, he puts his foot down, he makes the cut, and he's able to ram it home for 8 yards. That's not the style of play of Boston Scott, Shane Vereen, Alvin Kamara. They're more dynamic, speed, catch the ball out of the backfield players.
On 2nd down, hard run to the hole. Jonathan Williams again. Very assertive.
Yeah, we saw him run that way week 1, gang, against Jacksonville. Kind of at the same end of this field. The way he hits the hole. I mean, it just has purpose to it.
Yeah, that one cut and explosion.
One cut and he's downhill quick. Just like Ingram does. I mean, he's able to accelerate and burst through the hole. You're not going to bring him down with an arm tackle. I mean, you have to be able to complement one another as running backs in the league right now, and that's what complements Kamara.
Slight delay, Williams to the outside. He'll get there. Touchdown Saints.
Boy, for a guy who likes to run people over, he did a good job of running away from people on that score.
The field's 53 yards wide.
A lot of guys would,
don't bring it back.
Would shift the ball to their left hand and extend it.
Watch his left foot. I don't know if he makes it across the line before he steps out.
Hits the pylon.
Does he?
Left foot is on the goal line. The left foot looks like it's on the line right there.
Oh, it's on the line, all right.
Yeah, the chalk.
It's on the chalk on the outside of the
sideline. It's a preseason.
It's close.
Oh, Jonathan Williams. Get across the line, man.
Well, they're taking another look at it.
If he extends it with the left hand, though, there's no doubt.
Or
but he didn't.
Plants and just plows that guy into the end zone.
Under further review.
Kick save and a beauty if he does get himself in here.
But as we mentioned, he's more between the tackles guy. He's not turning the corner that often like that.
And it's not to say that they can't. It's just to say that's what their strengths are.
Going for 2. It's Williams. He's available. Hangs on. It's official. That time he was definitely in.
No question there.
So points. Did he possess it, though? Now they're saying, did he bobble it? No.
Oh, boy.
Because you could see the initial bobble.
Rolling on the field as the receiver bobbled the football as it was going out of bounds and only had 1 foot in. The extra point is unsuccessful.
No.
Well, you have to show me from another angle. He bobbles it at first.
Right.
I think he has possession and gets his feet down again. So bobble, bobble. Still bobbling. Lots of bobble. Does he get that next foot down?
Ooh, left foot.
But does he have it under control when he breaks the plane?
Wow.
Do you need 2 feet after it breaks the plane?
Let's see. So when does he gain possession? 1 foot. Gets the second down. So much to look at. Challenge it, just like Coach Payton does. Take a good look at it under the hood.
New Orleans is challenging the ruling on the field that the receiver only had 1 foot in.
This conversation about running backs, we go back to Mark Ingram. He can run between the tackles. He can also catch the ball out of the backfield. And they need a guy like this here that can do multiple things like Ingram if he's going to be the replacement.
Well, you're not going to easily replace Mark Ingram. He's not going to be Mark Ingram for 4 weeks. You want somebody who can complement what Kamara brings to the table and be able to take some of those reps between the tackles.
Yeah, Kamara turned out to be pretty amazing. He didn't play like a rookie. And the ability, the elusiveness he displayed last year, that was maybe the most amazing part of it because he really extended plays. He didn't run himself out of plays.
And again, he's a guy who can run between the tackles. I'm not saying he can't. It's just what's his skill set best for. He's always got another gear. You put him in space, and he's accelerating past some of the fastest DBs, not much less linebackers. So, you're trying to play to your player's strengths, and that's what you get with Kamara and trying to complement him with Williams. Let's get one more look.
Did Coach Payton lead the league in challenges last year? Because the intensity and the competition that we see from the sideline, it's healthy. It carries over. It carries over to his unit.
Competition, huh? There is a certain
intensity to it.
Payton.
Intensity to it.
It's different than every other.
Did you think that our longest review of the night would come on a 2-point conversion with 4:38 left in the fourth?
After review, the ruling on the field will stand as an incomplete pass with the try unsuccessful.
So the Saints lose a timeout in a dominating performance by the defense, and let's not forget about the special teams. They've already blocked the punt. They went for a score. They've gotten close to 2 others to block. Jonathan Williams has put his stamp on this game. There's no question about that.
New
So is
Orleans
Boston
will be
Scott.
charged with their second timeout.
There's very few spots up for grabs on.
Holy cow.
That sounded good. They couldn't save that for 4:39 from now. It'll be Natson out of the end zone. They got a good return there across the 25 to 26. Our Cox high-speed connection play of the game, fastest internet speed and in-home Wi-Fi for the best football experience at home. Taysom Hill, Cameron Meredith hooked up a couple of times.
Well, they were the dynamic duo today. Cam Meredith, this was kind of his breakout preseason game. Hadn't seen him make many plays, and Taysom Hill continuing off his performance last week. So good to see from both players. You have to leave encouraged by Taysom Hill, the way he's rallied, what he does athletically. But Cam Meredith, man, he's going to be counted on to make plays, and he showed up to play today.
Yeah, Cameron Meredith impressive, man, a big target. And as we mentioned, a legit 6'3". Pressure on Perez as he's wide. If you join us a little bit late, Hill played in the first half. He was 10 of 17 for 159. He accounted for 190 yards in total offense because he had 31 on the ground. The touchdown that he threw was to Cameron Meredith. He also had a 56-yard reception to Cameron Meredith. And the leader on the ground is Jonathan Williams. 14 carries for 56 yards, but Boston Scott's got a better average. He's got 10 for 55.
Good game for a number of players. Really, the Saints have dominated special teams, defense, offense across the board.
Now second and 10. The Heat had to get rid of it because he wanted Nick Holly. Let's head back downstairs to Megan Payton. Megan.
Yeah, guys, over the offseason, the Saints completely renovated their training room. This was a multi-million-dollar project that finished at the beginning of camp. Guys, this facility has everything from a cryo chamber to an underwater treadmill and also a float tank, or what some people are calling a sleep pod. Guys can lay down and get 4 hours worth of sleep in just 1 hour. Stinch, I want to know, how does this place compare to the training room they had back when you were there?
That was a setup.
Oh, salt in the wounds, Megan.
That was a setup. You did your own laundry, did you? That won't work. Saints defense. They're not 3 for 15. The Rams are the Millette there. 3 for 15 on third downs tonight.
Great tackle here, but really, I'm excited to see just the overall upgrades they've made, and I think it's a testament to the standard that Mr. Benson set with this organization and the leadership that Coach Payton has had, that he said he wants everything to be excellent, and now the training room matches that.
High snap for Picken. Stay away. Good idea. So the Saints will get it back at the 35 with 3.5 left in the preseason. There are not many spots. As we discuss this, there are very few spots open on this roster. Well, that's what it boils down to.
I think that's what makes all these decisions so hard. I mean, number one, limited spots. As Stinch mentioned earlier, we're not talking about starters positions that are up for grabs, and then you're going to be splitting hairs among some of these guys. You know, Arthur Millette with the way he's played tonight. How do you put that up against a guy like Cameron Moore, who's led your team in special teams tackles tonight? You're really splitting hairs when it comes to some of these decisions. That's how close the competition has been during this camp.
Dan Arnold's back in there, and he's in motion. Somebody we discussed in the first half with Boston Scott in the backfield. He's trying to make it as a backup tight end. No gain on the carry. You were discussing earlier Rick Leonard, the 4th-round pick. And there's Will Clapp, the 7th-round pick out of LSU, who can play both center and guard. So the versatility helps him make it potentially.
It does. You got Laribas, Tom, Clapp in the middle. There's 3 guys in addition to your starting 5. You need a swing tackle. Bushrod, Ola in the running for that. Rick Leonard's your draft pick, who you're hoping to develop. So there's decisions to be made. Who's going to 7 that you're going to dress on game day, and are you going to carry 8 or 9?
Underneath, it's complete. Nice stutter step. Tommy Lee. Yeah, we discussed Boston Scott. Okay, guys that can put on the brakes, make a miss. Tommy Lee Lewis.
You talk about position battles. Tommy Lee Lewis, Austin Carr was mentioned earlier.
Yep.
It's skill sets. I mean, I think both are very capable slot receivers. Does one have more added value in special teams? Does one play the slot better? Do they complement what the other receivers do?
Boston Scott turns the corner pretty well, doesn't he? And barely bumped out. And then what about Brandon Tate, who hasn't played tonight, and we've seen him on returns?
Does the fact that Tate didn't play tonight, does that mean he's won the returner's job? Food for thought. Boy, there's Rick Leonard with a nice out right there. You know, with the lineman, we talked about Cameron Tom earlier. I think he's clearly shown that he's probably the answer as far as a backup center goes. Will Clapp doing the the snapping duties here late in this one. But Cameron Tom has shown, I think he's your number one backup center / guard.
More so than Josh Laribas.
I think so.
Fake the sweep, the jet sweep that is. Jonathan Williams making a miss, going through arm tackles. 2-minute warning, final minute 58 of the preseason. Now, what a preseason it's been for Sean Payton and the Saints. You're looking at one of the deeper sidelines in the NFL. I think it's safe to say the Saints are a top 5, top 6 team talent-wise if they stay healthy this year.
Well, you like their roster. They look good on paper. They still have to go out and win games, but you have to like their roster, and that's what's making it so difficult to judge who that final 53 is. And as we talk about it, there's always a surprise, whether it's in the roster, somebody who gets cut, an addition from another team that, sure, you made the 53, but once they see who's on waivers, the 53 that happens on Saturday is different when come Monday.
I think the luxury you're going to find with this football team is that while we're talking about the bottom of the roster all throughout tonight, rightfully so, look, when they line up against Tampa Bay, you're going to recognize everybody out there. They return so many starters, and they're so strong in those positioning groups across the board.
There's Trey Edmonds. And as you bring that up, and the wide receivers, strong and young. Extremely young after the draft class they had last year and the last couple of years.
Yeah, it's interesting after the Chargers game that Austin Carr was being talked about by Sean Payton in particular, and he said that depth chart there was in chalk. But Cameron Meredith tonight may have made it more so Sharpie, permanent ink.
And that doesn't include Tanner McAvoy, who they just pick up. So it's always in flux, it seems.
Keeping it on the ground. Man needing about a foot for a first down. That'll do it. Minute 15 and counting. A couple more snaps. The preseason's over. And a very healthy, fortunately, preseason for the Saints. That was the best part of it all.
Yeah, I think so, too. It's interesting. A lot of the Saints players were asked this week about playing a team in the preseason that they're going to see later on in the regular season. They're going to play the Rams on November the 4th. They did not play the Los Angeles Rams tonight.
Well, let's see if the Rams gamble, and I do believe it's a gamble, pays off, because they didn't play a lot of their guys during the entire preseason, including their starting quarterback and their starting tailback. And they're not exactly grizzled veterans. Goff's getting ready to go into his 3rd season. So do we get another snap? The clock is moving. No, that'll do it.
Well, we've got 500 people on the field, but we might have a delay again. Now, let's just reset it. Give us a second.
It's official. It's official. And appreciate all you guys have done up here. And our producer, Barry Landis, Mark Grant, our director, and our entire Tupelo Honey Raycom group. It's been entertaining. And the expectations, guys, let's face it, everybody's ready for the season right now because we're all that sky high.
You're exactly right. The expectations are through the roof. Amazing what a year can do. Last year we're talking about can't go 7-9 again, and now you're talking about NFC championships and potentially a Super Bowl run.
For John Skinstrom, Sean Kelly, I'm Joel Myers, and for Megan Payton as well. Thank you for being with us every step of the way during the preseason. Have a great regular season, everybody, and stay with the Saints.